This tutorial is going to show you a few things you need to know about posting your Capstone case study. While this dashboard is not exactly the same site that you'll be using to post your case study, the theme is exactly the same and the plugins and setup are exactly the same, as you will see when you do your posting. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go into the posts area and create a new post. Now you will see the traditional WordPress classic editor here. And if I have content that I want to paste in, the first thing that's important to know, if you are pasting from a Word doc or any other document, it's important to click this little toggle button, the toolbar toggle, and click this paste as text. This will remove any formatting that comes along with whatever you're pasting. When you're copying from a Word doc or from a Google Doc, often the formatting comes behind the text comes along with it, which can cause some issues. So you want to paste that in here, and I've just pasted in a little bit of the lorem ipsum that I grabbed from before. And you're going to add a title. Rachel, Stephen, and I will let you know what title is going to be used for your case study, how we want you to format that. Okay. Now, so this is the classic editor. And once you have some text in there, I always recommend to save this draft. If you are not familiar with the classic editor and you prefer the new Gutenberg editor, where there are blocks that you can manipulate and move around, there is a switch to block editor button, or link, I'm sorry, that we've added to the dashboard for you. This editor box may appear down below, down here, but it will be in this right sidebar someplace. And you can click Switch to Block Editor, and it will bring up the block editor for you. Okay. Now, if you want to convert this text to blocks so it will behave as a block does in this version of the editor, you can click Convert to Blocks, and now you'll be able to work with these as if you were working with any of the blocks that you have. Okay, and as you're working, I always recommend saving to draft. Okay, now I am not familiar with this area with the block editor, so I'm going to switch back to the classic to show you something else. We've installed a plugin that allows you to choose from the many different Google fonts that there are, thousands of fonts, I believe, or hundreds of them at least, and not just use these default fonts for your page. So the site already has a few of them already built in here based on the site, the theme's defaults. But let's say you don't want to use any of these. You prefer one of the other fonts for your text or your subheader. You know, if I'm popping in a heading here, subheading, you know, it's giving me Roboto, which I don't Roboto Slab, which I don't necessarily want. So I can click on this Fonts plugin link and then click Customize Fonts. Okay, and then I'm going to click on Advanced Settings and Load Fonts Only. So Advanced Settings and Load Fonts Only. And I can go through and choose the font that I would like. Now I have no idea what all these look like, so let's say I like Railway usually, so I'm going to grab it from here. See if it's in here. Yep, there it is. Okay, and I'm going to click Publish. And you'll see that every time we add a new font, I had added in the past when I was testing this, April Fat Face. So here I've added Railway. I can close this down. It brings me back to my page. And let's see now if Railway is in here. There it is, right at the top. Okay. And now if I want to make this a subheading, it is now Railway and it's a subheader. Okay. And I can do this for the body fonts as well, using the same process. I'll go to the Fonts plugin, click on Customize Fonts, and I'll click Advanced Settings, Load Fonts Only. And if I know what those are, I can go ahead and Maybe I like Allegria Sans, for example. Click Publish and go back. Close this down. Highlight my body text. And this will be now my body text. I'm going to save the draft. I can click Preview Post. And here we have, the subheader did not appear exactly as I'd like, so I'll have to go fix that. Edit Post. Railway. I'll just increase the size here. Bold. Save draft. And I'll refresh this. And there I have my subheader font. Okay, so this is a nice way for you to be able to customize the fonts that you want to use for your case study, so you're not just using the defaults that this theme has. If you are interested in learning or viewing the different fonts that Google has available and testing them out, you can just go to fonts.google.com and you'll be able to search through the many fonts and choose ones that are to your liking. So the last thing that I'd like to point out is that when you are doing your categories, we would like you to choose at least 2 categories. One will be choosing the name of your professor for the capstone, so either Stephen, Rachel, or myself. And the other one will be the genre of your primary or secondary genre for your capstone project. So if you're doing a podcast, you would choose audio. If you're doing like an ebook or a printed book, you would choose book. If you're doing graphic designs, posters, those kinds of things, book covers, you would choose something like a graphic design. If you're doing videos or a website or a zine, you would choose each of these. And this will help us create a navigation menu that will allow future students to be able to find case studies within the genre that they're thinking about. Okay. Please also only use the standard format for posting. Ignore all these other ones. Just use the standard. You'll be able to add your images and audio exactly as you would like within this standard posting. Okay. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask either one of us. And we're really looking forward to seeing your case studies. Have a great day.